Well, good evening, everyone. I don't know what you all do for excitement on a Friday evening, but I have a little time before it gets dark, and my idea of excitement, this evening anyway, is seeing what this T340 will do. I've been kind of anxious about it, and I'm going to work on priming the oil system first, then try and get a battery in it and see if the engine will turn over first. I've talked about it before, priming the oil system. This time I'm going to show you my pump for doing that. What I have here is a 5-gallon pail, and inside it I've mounted a small block Chevy oil pump. A shaft to go up, run with the cordless drill, and a hose to go to hook up to the oil system to prime the oil system. And seeing a previous owner had hooked up water temperature gauge and oil gauge on top here, it'll be real easy to disconnect this oil line, hook my hose up to it, run my pump, and prime the oil system. So let's get to it. Pull the line off. I'm also pulling the brass fitting of the oil pressure gauge because the line itself is kind of small for that 3/8 inch hose, but I think the 3/8 inch hose will clamp up nicely to this eighth inch pipe thread. So hook it on there. Clamp it down. Put my cordless drill on it. Make sure it's turning in the right direction, which it is. And spin it over. And you can usually feel when it starts to get real pressure because you can feel the hose expand a little bit. I pinch it and I can feel it put pressure on it. So I'm thinking we have a good amount of pressure on it now. Now I'll disconnect the hose and hook it back up to the oil pressure gauge. There have been times I put a T in there when I did this so I could see how much oil pressure I was cranking up, but I don't think that's necessary. We'll get that out of the way. Now it'll be more exciting. Hook up the batteries and see what happens. As you can see, it has two 6-volt batteries in it. I'm going to try 112. I have no idea how long it's been since anything was done with this machine, as I know nothing about the whereabouts of where it came from or anything. It rusted down that the 1/2-inch box end just spins on it. So oh, well, that one came off. Let's see if this one will come off. Oh. Well, I got that off. Bolt didn't come loose. So we'll get that battery out of the way. I don't see any dates on the top of the battery. I used to always say battery, but my stepdaughter kind of got me out of that, saying it's battery. But Lord Muck says battery is what you do something to someone, and battery is a electrical storage device. So I better keep saying battery, I think. Here's some kind of a number, but not a date. We'll get that out of the way. Well, I got that one off. First, I'm just going to stick it in there and see if it makes any noise. No, I'm really hoping that the starter's going to work, because I've looked at it and you can see where the starter is, but that isn't saying anything about what it's like to get at it. I hope I don't have to find out. I don't know if I'm real hopeful with those connections. These clamp-ons are rusty and I didn't clean these, but I'm going to turn the key and hit the button and see if it makes a click at all. As I had said in a previous video, the key is here. Someone was nice enough to wire it so it wouldn't get lost. Turn the key. I'm gonna hit the glow plug button first. Nothing. Now let's hit the starter button. Oh, listen to that. Listen to that. That's promising sound. I'm going to see if I can get the fuel cap off. Oh, there it bounced. I can see fuel in it. Oh yeah, it's half full. Smells like fuel. I can give it a try to see if it makes any smoke out of the exhaust pipe. Nope. Oh, a lot of times those things pull right off, but this one doesn't want to. Oh, live dangerously, what the heck. Good oil pressure, real good oil pressure. Oh, how's that? I ain't gonna look here once. Well, it took me a total of about 15 minutes to get it running. Can't kick about that, and it sounds absolutely beautiful. It's chained down yet. Let's see how it starts again. You couldn't ask for anything more. Look at that oil pressure at an idle. Unbelievable. Well, not unbelievable. I couldn't be happier so far. Now I'm going to start it again. Watch the oil pressure come up. Now watch how slow the oil pressure drops after I shut it off. Now that's an indication that the bearings are very tight. I'm telling you, I could not be happier. Look how slow that oil pressure goes down. Now I want to show you what else I noticed the other day, or yesterday. Apparently the water pump was replaced after it was repainted yellow because there's no paint on that. And if you look at the injectors here, there's red paint on those and there's no paint on the cylinder head, but the valve cover is yellow. So I'm guessing this engine was apart and the head was replaced off a tractor that was painted red. So all of those, I didn't notice that until after I bought it and brought it home, the water pump and the head. But all of those indicate that this tractor was cared for, and so far it seems to be, I mean, just a absolutely beautiful runner. I think I'm going to unchain it, and even without pounding on those tracks, just gingerly see if it'll move backwards a little bit. But if it doesn't move rather easily, I'm still going to jack it up and pound to try and get those tracks a little freer. So I'm going to get done chained and then we'll try it again. Well, maybe I was a little overzealous. I was going to top the radiator off, and look at that. There's a big split in it there. And what I'm thinking, I know my gas 340, the seam is open in the same place. So did it freeze or was the seam open? If it froze, we all know that what that could mean for the engine too if there's no coolant in it. So I'm not home free yet, that's for sure. I'm looking for a petcock, a drain cock. In the engine block that I could open to see if there's coolant in the engine. I don't know about you guys, but there almost looks like there could be a little bit of a crack, external crack in the block there. I'm not sure if you can see it, but there's definitely a slight crack there and moisture coming out of it since I poured coolant in. So this could turn from triumph to tragedy real fast. If it's just that little external crack, it shouldn't be an issue. It could JB weld that little bitty thing. A block sealer might even close it up. I'm thinking nothing leaking internally though, because the oil level was perfectly at the right level and not milky colored at all. So I'm crossing my fingers that it's just this little bit. The first thing I'll have to do is get the radiator stop leaking so I can fill it and try running it. So follow me along for the journey. Now I'm going to pull the dipstick again. The little bit we run it, if there's any amount of water in it, that oil wouldn't look so nice and black as it did when I checked it. The oil is still nice and black. So I don't think there's any water stirred up into it. So I'm going to take that as a good sign that there's no internal crack or leakage, just that little external crack. I'm going to start it up one more time like I had said and see if it'll move backwards just slightly. right track moves, but left one, I'm going to have to work at freeing up how I talked about. So I guess I'm going to leave it for tonight. I'm still happy with the results. I couldn't lose on it no matter what because of the undercarriage. And I seriously think it's just that little minor external crack in the engine. Because like I say, I see no water in the oil whatsoever. But then again, you never know until it gets hot and run. So, like I say, thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And follow along and see the results, how it turns out.